Welcome to the California Department of Education Integrated and Designated English Language Development Transitional Kindergarten through Grade 12 video series. This video is reproduced by permission of the publisher, Houghton Mifflin Harcourt Publishing Company. All rights reserved.
All right, now that we've brainstormed ideas, we're going to move to our next task. And in an academic discussion, we use more precise language. We use complete sentences, a much more formal variety of language. And so in our brainstorming, we just used everyday words. But what we're going to do right now is put our heads together to try to come up with some much stronger word choices that we could potentially use in our sentences. The first everyday word, which we need to develop and substitute with more precise words, is often. And it's an adverb. And I'll remind you that an adverb is a word that describes a verb, like impolitely or reluctantly or significantly or quickly. And so we're going to think of other adverbs, words that describe actions that we could use instead of often. And if I say he often arrives late, or he often helps me out in class, I could also say he regularly arrives late. And another precise word that comes to mind is daily. I might say daily he assists me. So I don't know what's wrong with him. Today he's just sitting there. He seems rather passive because daily he assists me. He's very helpful. So daily really means often, every single day. So let's write daily. And I'm going to ask you to put your head together with your partner to see if you can brainstorm another precise word. That means often or daily, something someone does a lot, right? Put your heads together to think of a more precise word.
Another word we can put for often is frequently.
All right, students, I overheard a number of precise synonyms during your brainstorming. Right now, we're going to have a chance to hear some of your selections, and I'm going to call on standing reporters. When you share the synonym that you and your partner came up with, don't just say the word. Use your public voice and use a sentence frame. We'll be using a number of frames today, both in our discussion and in our 10-minute paper, to discuss precise word choices. But the one I'd like you to use right now is, we would like to suggest the precise word, then say the word. So I might say, for example, we would like to suggest the precise word daily. Let's get comfortable using the frame with my idea. Everyone, let's chorally read it. We would like to suggest the precise word daily. Thank you. All right, may I have my ever alert partner A's? Please stand up. Partner A's, out of your chairs, all right? So Jose, in your public voice.
We would like to suggest the precise word constantly.
Excellent choice, and a very appropriate choice, constantly. So I'd like to call next on Daniel. Daniel, what word did you and your partner come up with?
We would like to suggest the precise word frequently.
Frequently, thank you very much. Now, I'd like you to sit down if your word was constantly or frequently. Please sit down and remain standing if you have a different word. So, Chris, what's an additional synonym that you and your partner identified?
We would like to suggest a precise topic word, usually.
Usually, very good, very appropriate. Thank you so much. I documented your suggestions, constantly, frequently, and usually. What I would like you to write down, let's write down constantly and then write another of your choice. All right, students, let's prepare to develop our first frame. I'd like to read the frame aloud, and you just read along silently, all right? One physical consequence, impact, outcome of sleep deprivation for adolescents is, and as you can see, we're going to be discussing physical consequences. So we have physical consequences, but we have three word choices that we could use to discuss consequences. One is consequence, but there are two synonyms, two widely used academic synonyms for consequence. So you have a selection. You may use one of these three words in your sentence. And I might say, for example, one physical consequence of sleep deprivation for adolescents is, and here we have this precise word choice, sleep deprivation, instead of saying being tired is, and after is, I need a verb ending in ing. I need that verb ending in ing. So I might say, is having panic attacks, is getting sick often, is gaining weight, even though you don't want to. I need a verb ending in ing, like one of these three. So when I think of writing a complete sentence here, this is a physical consequence. I'm going to review my list, and I see my idea that I really wish to explore was getting sick a lot. So what I'm going to do right here is write one physical consequence, and consequence is the word I've chosen to use, and I'll have to complete the frame of sleep deprivation for adolescents is, and I need to take this idea of getting sick a lot, I need to develop that more, and a lot is so casual. I think I'm going to say getting sick, and I'm going to use the term many of you suggested, frequently, getting sick frequently. But I want to develop my idea and elaborate a little bit and tell the result. Getting sick frequently, and how does that affect their schoolwork? What is the consequence? Getting sick frequently and missing, and instead of saying missing a lot of school, what could I say instead of a lot? I could say many days, or missing several days of school. So my complete sentence is, one physical consequence of sleep deprivation for adolescents is getting sick frequently and missing several days of school. Let's get comfortable with the frame by reading my response, and let's echo read it. I'll read a phrase, and then you repeat after me. One physical consequence of sleep deprivation, for adolescents, is getting sick frequently, and missing several days of school. Take a look at the physical consequences. Remind yourself of which idea you wish to explore. Then I'm going to have you complete the frame right now and try to write a very detailed response. Not just is getting sick, is not just being moody. Tell the result of that as well. So write a detailed response, and I'd like you to not bother your neighbor, but put up a pen if I could help you develop your idea a little bit more. All right, please begin writing. Now, please put your reading guide card under our second everyday word that we're going to replace with a more precise synonym. And this everyday word, tired, is an adjective, so we're going to brainstorm some adjectives that are more academic and precise and interesting to put in our papers. And one that we've seen in our first text is the adjective fatigued. Let's think of some more precise words for fatigued. And a topic word that we saw in the reading was sleep deprived. So let's all write in sleep deprived. Now, with your partner, I'd like you to put your heads together to see if you can come up with one other precise adjective that means really tired. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. This time I'd like our partner B's to stand up. Partner B's, please stand up. I plan to call first on Marissa, okay? I plan to call first on Marissa, and if that is the exact, if she shares the exact same adjective you came up with, please sit down. Please sit down, all right? But remain standing if you have an alternative suggestion. Thank you, Marissa.
We would like to suggest the precise word exhausted.
Exhausted, thank you. What a strong adjective. Thank you so much. Please sit down if, like Marissa and her partner, you came up with exhausted. Thank you. And I'd like next to hear from, what if we hear from Isaac?
We would like to suggest the precise word lethargic.
Lethargic, lethargic, one of my personal favorites, thank you. We have a number of suggestions here. Fatigued, lethargic, sleep deprived, exhausted, dull, and lifeless. I'd like you all to copy lethargic, and then to copy one other of your choice.